guys, I just had them side by side, but this is my 986. It's 1978, I believe. And back there's my 966, which is a 1972. So I was mowing this morning with the 986, and I kind of heard something, felt something, I'm not sure. Something just didn't seem right. So before I pulled out on the road, I decided to check the wheels, because 2 years ago I had a wheel shim break on this wheel right here. Bolt, that bolt there has been replaced. That one was broken, and this wheel was way out here. And I was actually driving down the road, and my wife Rachel's behind me, and she actually called me, and she's like, "The wheel's wobbling like crazy. You better pull over." So I pulled over right there in the field before it fell off, and I had to go get that bolt the next day or whatever. And I left the tractor right there as my neighbor's field, and then went back with all the stuff and fixed it. And so then today, guess what? The other wheel, and you can see, I don't know if you can see in there, but you can see the discoloration has moved about 3 inches or so. So I have to jack the tractor up. I need a 10 or 15, 10, 12, 15 ton jack, whatever. 10 ton will do it. So I was going to borrow a jack from my neighbor, but he said he had one, but then he must have left. He didn't say he was going anywhere, but so my in-laws are actually going to Mansfield, and they are going to pick one up at Tractor Supply. I did curbside pickup. But the worst part is you can't get to these bolts because the wheel weights. So you have to take the wheel weights off, and if you look at the wheel weights, the nuts are inside, right? So you have to take the inside off too. These are whole ones on the outside. The inside are half weights, but I don't think you can do it without taking them all off. I think you have, well, I'm not sure. I think you have to take them all off, because you can't get these nuts off. You have to take the bolts off the inside and then slide these out. And then, so I'm pretty sure, and then you can get an impact on there, a 3/4 inch socket, whatever on there. But you can't do it unless you get the weights out of the way. It's really not that big a deal to tighten it up. I don't think it's broken, but it's a pain in the butt that you gotta take the wheel weights off. See, these are half. See the crack there? Those are half. So I was gonna have to borrow a jack, so I decided to buy a jack. I was gonna buy one a while ago. I need to have jacks and ladders, or something that I think you are really not all that expensive, and you can never have enough of them. They come in awful handy. So it was muggy and hot anyway. So I just hooked the 966 on, and I'm gonna take that out and mow with it. I don't know if we're gonna do any video on it or not. Obviously it's loud, but I might slap the camera up on the fender and do a little video. And I'd much rather video with the I'd much rather mow with the 966. I like the open station. The seat's real tall. I can see a long ways up there. I used to mow with it before we had the 986. I did everything with the 966. Problem is it has hydraulic issues. That's why the mower's down. The one remote must be that it come unhooked from the spool. The one remote the lever doesn't even move. Had a lot of trouble with it. Ever since we got it, we went through and replaced. See, this lever's must be a pin in there that's unhooked, but it won't do anything. And actually, years ago, we replaced the spools down under the seat, the insides, and it was better for a while, and then it's gotten worse again. I think there's probably a cotter pin in there that's loose. But I think one goes inside the other one. Yeah. So you can see right there, the cotter pin's out. This shaft goes inside the other one. That's how it works. you can see that's out. I don't know, maybe I could find one real quick and maybe get it in there. But I got a fix for this, and I'm going to show it to you when I get the video. When I get it, I'm going to video putting it on, putting it together, because it's going to be real cool. But so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to switch the remotes over and pick the disc spine up and get it to where I need to go. Then I'll switch them back and open it up, and I'll put it down and mount. So anyway, that's just a real quick video. We might be back with more. Well, we'll probably throw it up there and video off the fender, but you probably won't hear a whole lot. We'll be back with more. Alright guys, we're going to call it a video. We got the field all opened up, got the 966 roaring. A few sticks there, had to, twice going around. The first time I had to stop, check, see if there's a rock. It would end up being a stick both times. So we got it opened up. It's loud on this tractor, can't do any talking, but we're going to call it a video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more from Triple D Farms, Triple D Maple, and Triple D Cabins. Have a nice day.